Hello and welcome. This is the Ridge Kliff Chronicles, Part 1, Addendum. Good evening. This is an analysis, catalog, and assessment of the town known as Ridge Kliff. My overseers have seen fit to send me and a small team of agents to assess this town of any major threat to our group. All the following is a brief collection of information myself and my agents have collected in our 2 weeks of arriving and integrating. Without further ado, let us begin. Ridge Kliff, Pennsylvania. It's a strange case. It seems to be a hub or magnet for all sorts of anomalies within the greater northeast of America. Of course, on the surface, it seems like your average suburban town of fewer than 1,000 people. But peeking in, it has some of the most peculiar cases I've ever seen. Points of interest. 1. Leslie's Soda Shop. This establishment, from what I've seen, is a normal vintage soda shop from the 1960s, fully refurbished by the owner, Leslie Knowles. This, however, is not the draw for most of the people in Ridge Kliff. At the flip of a switch, Leslie trades pop and ice cream for magical elixirs and powerful artifacts. Several artifacts from the BPRD's Oopsie Daisies archive. These items in question are as follows: a Hero's Call, the Bronze Ram, Mask of Rael, Dance Macabre, and Mr. Howard's Wondrous Doll number 27, Miss Unravel. Analysis. In the grander scheme of this town, Leslie's Soda Shop is of little concern. The background checks out. Miss Knoll has all of her proper paperwork for operating a shop with such volatile items, and seems to be very knowledgeable in her research and practices. Minimal threat. Assessment, non-issue. Point of interest, 2. The Ridge Kliff Police Department. The Ridge Kliff Police Department is a normal functioning police force made up of 6 officers, 1 captain, and a overtly friendly receptionist. They handle the handful of Ridge Kliff's disturbances, the occasional theft, lost animals, traffic violations, noise complaints, etc. However, most officers I've made contact with seem like it's been some years since their fiscal peaks, and most certainly have a lot of room in their brain cavities. Except one. Carl Rupert McNeely, a former BPRD associate and agent. They seem to be a part of this task force and handle all matters outside of normality. The department consists of the following members: Captain Barney Cords, Officer Finley Mund, Officer Harold Kapoor, Officer Adam Cruz, Officer Miguel Fuentes, Officer Queenie Green, and Officer Carl McNeely, as well as the receptionist, Deborah Hartley. Analysis. This police force is mostly a non-issue, having basic or minimal formal training outside of the academy. However, the inclusion of Carl McNeely may prove to be an issue if not dealt with first. Minor threat. Assessment, minimal issue. Point of interest number 3. As with many other cases in this country, Whole Foods seems to have some sort of secret society or cult-like association within the employee base. It seems to have some ties with the local place of worship just on the other side of the Highlands gated community. However, it seems it has not attempted to grow beyond its borders and take over the people of Ridge Kliff. More information is needed to do a proper analysis. For now, minimal threat, non-issue. Point of interest 4. Doc's General Store. This small general store seems to be the main competition for the local Whole Foods, and has seen high profitable margins since the opening of this branch. It is run by a lichen-wearer being known as Marcus Herring. Further digging led us to an incident report from October 13th, 1970, in which the Herring family, Cecile and Marcus Herring, were attacked by the lichen known as Craig O'Leary. Unfortunately, Ms. Herring died during the incident and Marcus survived. As such, he is now a descendant of the O'Leary family. Analysis. This general store shows no traces of magical association other than lycanthropy of Marcus Herring. But even then, it seems he leads a normal life. Minor threat. Assessment. Minimal issue. Point of interest 5. The Light and Honor Cathedral. It is a place of worship for Sol, the sun god. It seems about 27% of Ridge Kliff's population frequent this cathedral daily, and another 13th on associated worship days, Wednesday and Sundays. It seems this group that run the cathedral are that of religious zealots, trying to restore Sol to its former iteration of the Scorch. This iteration was worshipped from late 900 NA to 1300 NA, and was a symbol of purity and cleansing. As such, beings like fae, devils, demons, vampires, werebeings, etc. were hunted down and cleansed. And these practices were eventually stopped, and now it seems that they've had a resurgence in this small Pennsylvania town. Analysis. The Light and Honor Society is a collection of zealots, lost scripture, and a bond that runs deeper than blood. Attempts to find out more about the society have resulted in the disappearance of several agents. I suspect we're being monitored by this Light and Honor Society. Intermediate threat. Assessment. Priority 4 anomaly. Point of interest 6. Cathridge Farms. A haven and escape for werebeings. The Cathridge Farms is a well-known establishment on the eastern seaboard. It is run by husband and wife Gabriel and Selena Cathridge, managed and tended to by their adopted son and daughter, Dennis and Georgia Cathridge, all of which are werebeings. They have frequent visits from every branch of werebeings known at this time. Further information has already been cataloged on Cathridge Farms. See werebeing files for Selena Cathridge, Gabriel Cathridge, and Georgia Cathridge. Analysis. The Cathridge property at this time is still an asset to the O'Leary and Uxie Corporation. However, the former does not seem to meddle in the affairs of the Cathridge family, either by ignorance or by choice. Intermediate threat. Priority 3 anomaly. Point of interest 7. The Sack. This is a small cul-de-sac on the outskirts of Ridge Kliff, housing most of Ridge Kliff's people of interest. The neighborhood consists of 6 homes of all manner of style. This neighborhood is home to prominent cryptid hunter Russell North, renowned astrophysicist Nebula North, Twilight Society alumni Leslie Knowles and Phoebe Goodwin, famous queer influencer Liam Winters, former champion of the Manhattan Pit Oliver Winters, and former Air Force Master Sergeant Randall Lowell. All of these individuals alone would certainly draw attention, but altogether, they are a force not to be disturbed. However, the most intriguing aspect of this neighborhood is the children. The children of this neighborhood are some of the most magically potent individuals I have ever seen. In the winter of 1994, they dispatched one of the Lords of the Abyss. In the spring of 1995, they ventured in the Feywilds and killed Robert Smith, ruler of the Southern Fey Realm. In the summer of 95, they were responsible for the Doppler relocation incident. These are just a few of their accomplishments. There are 4 in total. Their ages range from 10 to 15. NASA North, 15. Wesley Winters, 10. Abigail Goodwin, 14. Elizabeth Lowell, 12. Analysis. Ridge Kliff is home to many strange and anomalous things, and should have been wiped off the map several times over. Still, it stands. It is my belief this group is the first line of defense for this town. They have not failed yet, and don't seem to have any inclination of failing anytime soon. Immediate threat. Assessment. Priority 1 anomaly. Addendum. As instructed, I have been assigned to further watch over Ridge Kliff and its inhabitants for possible threats, as well as Alpha 2 has instructed me to keep a close eye on the SAC kids. Whether this is for further threat assessment or something else is yet to be determined. Let's hope they're ready for what's coming.